Gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Right, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to start building the bridges now. I've got a double mainline bridge to do here, and then I also have another little bridge I got to do on the other side as well. Alright, so I've got the track coming in about here, marked on the foam on this side, and here marked on this side. So if I get a bit of balsa wood now, I'm just going to hold the balsa wood roughly where the track is, and you can actually see it's making a double curve, which is going to be a little bit difficult to make, but I think I'll give it a go anyway. So I'm over at the workbench now, and I've got a bit of scrap ply here. Now on one of my previous videos you would have seen that I actually printed out the track plan here at 1:1 at A0, and that's how I used to mark the track out. Now what I've done is I've cut out the sections where the bridges will be, and I'm going to glue these down now to the plywood, and these are going to become the jig for my bridge building. Alright, so I'm just going to put up a picture of a bridge that I'm pretty much trying to imitate here, and it's going to be like a steel girder truss type bridge, and it's going to have a bunch of timber like beams and then sort of decking on top. So the paper's all glued down now, it's ready to go. Now to make the steel girder truss section of the bridge, I'm going to be using this balsa wood. This balsa wood is 12.5 millimeters by 3 millimeters, and I'll be doing 3 sections of it. I'm going to laminate it together, and then I'll make a jig that's going to hold it in the position, and then it should just hold very nicely. Okay, so each piece of balsa wood here is 3 mil thick, so I got 3 layers. That takes me to 9 mil. So what I've done is I've taken the center line here and I've offset 4.5 millimeters either side of that line. So what I'll do is I'll take these balsa wood sections, I'll glue them all together, then we'll just put them in the jig. I'll start putting nails here on the other side, and it should push it into position. Okay, so I've glued everything up and I've put it in the jig, and I've run another row of nails here on the other side, holding them in position, and I've done 1, 2, 3, so we're all done there now. So I'm just going to leave this dry for 24 hours, and then we'll pull it out and we'll see what happens. Alright, so 24 hours now has passed, and let's pull it out of the jig and check it out. Alright, so it seems to have held the curve nicely. Got to do a little bit of sanding now to bring this back into level, tops and bottoms, and you can see that the nails has actually made slight indentations in the timber, but nothing that can't be sanded out. Okay, so let's just try a test run on this, and we'll line them up about there somewhere. I made these slightly longer so I could had some trim allowance on it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it so far. So to make this look more like a girder truss bridge, what I'm going to do is along the sides of it, when you look at the picture, you got like a series of ribs. So what I've gone out and bought is this timber here. This is actually 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter, and I'm going to glue a strip of it along the top, a strip of it along the bottom, and then I'll cut a series of individual uprights going along. Okay, so I have started to do the glue up now, and I'll just see if I can come in nice and close, and you can see the millimeter by millimeter timber on the top and bottom rail there. Now I just used some PVA glue, glued it on, and I used some painter's tape just to hold it in position until it dries. Alright, so let's take a look where I'm at. I've finished off 2 sections now, I've still got 1 more to go. So let's just take a closer look now. And I've got the uprights on, starting to look a lot more like a piece of steel now. Alright, back to the layout now, and what I've done is I've just carved out a little bit on each side for the bridge to sit down into. Now the depth at the moment, I've just sort of guessed at it. I mean, you can always adjust it later on if I need to. So So I've done the cutouts on both sides, and I've taken the bridges now and I've actually cut them down to size now. So let's try and fit one in. And we'll do the outer one as well. Okay, so there it is in position. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some primer, and I'm just going to spray paint both of these now. Okay, so the lower steel section now is complete and ready to go. Alright, so for the next video what I'm going to be doing is building the timber sections here on top. I also need to work out a way to build a concrete sort of column here underneath the mid-span. If anyone's got any good ideas or suggestions, I'd love to hear them. So guys, don't forget to like this video, and I'll see you next time.